Hey Yama, are you gonna dye your hair anytime soon? Yamaguchi nodded. His roots were showing, brunette peeking out from the murky green, a lot more prominent with his hair half up the way he usually wore it, and the two-tone color effect had begun to look stale even from afar. It was about time. Probably a little before the Nakoma practice match. That way it's fresh before we get on the bus. I can't wait to see Lev and Anuka, but I still can't believe Kenma-san graduated last year. Hinata grabbed his hair in dramatic distress, plopping down onto the floor next to where the captain was taking his water break. Yamaguchi could only laugh watching him. He really missed Kenma. They'd gotten close during Kenma's last year, and still played online games together during whatever free time the two could line up, but that definitely wasn't the same. Yeah, I can't believe it either. What do you think their new first years are like? Do you think anyone's taller than Lev? I hope not, even Lev still sort of freaks me out. Taller than Lev? I highly doubt that, Sho. The simple statement seemed to throw the ginger into a deep state of thought, brows furrowed in concentration as he glared at his own shoes, allowing that to continue at its own pace. Yamaguchi tuned into the symphony of the others practicing. The volleyball hitting off the ground and walls was such a familiar sound. Yamaguchi had grown to love it almost as much as his peers. That initial serve, sending the ball across the court, it may have taken longer than the other three for him to realize, but it was just as exhilarating as they said. The squeak of shoes, every yelled command, even the apologies from a bad serve or receive, he loved it all. Ice cream. What? After practice, we should get ice cream, like a double date. Kags and I haven't gone on any dates in a while, and we never hang out after school anymore. The last part was definitely not true, but it was the least of Yamaguchi's problems right now. That orchestra of songs he'd been enjoying moments prior suddenly seemed to increase to an unpleasant volume. The freckles scattered across his face all went into hiding in the deep red growing across Yamaguchi's face, eyes fixed on Hinata with owlish blinks. Hinata just looked confused. Tsuki and I aren't dating? Huh? When did you break up? Two of the second years and a first year turned to look at them, further embarrassing. Tadashi, we were never dating. Hinata, what? But you both, how? Quit yelling, the whole team thought. What? What do you mean the whole team? First year? We all thought you guys had been dating, since middle school or something. First year? You thought? And you never. Hinata, Tsuki and I have never dated. You guys were always together. You have matching bags. He had a nickname only you could call him, only you could touch him after matches because he hates sweat. Yama, this isn't on us. Tsuki liked Tobio first, yay, shit. Hinata's eyes went wide as saucers. Fuck, he'd sworn to keep that secret when Kei mumbled something about Kags being pretty offhandedly once. Not that Tadashi hadn't already had his suspicions. I mean, Tsuki was so nervous about talking to Kageyama for the first time he researched him. Who does that? Sometime during second year, however, Tsukishima suddenly seemed to pull away from Kageyama. He'd tell Yamaguchi he wasn't interested in dating and just straight avoid or ignore when Tobio tried to start anything or, on the rare occasion, compliment. Yamaguchi had felt selfish for being weirdly giddy when the sudden turnaround happened. Close to the middle of second year is when they began to hang as a group, and everyone got close again. All that time, Yamaguchi never said a word. He was sworn to secrecy, and why would he betray his friend's trust like that? But when they met he was all, spare me the onomatopoeia show, just don't tell anyone, especially him, that I told you, okay? He's over it now. Kags is all yours. Hinata's face twitched at the big word. Wait a second. You and Kageyama are dating? Yamaguchi must have asked the dumbest question in the world. They stared at each other in heavy silence before Hinata suddenly looked exasperated, grabbing Yama by the shoulders and shaking lightly. You're supposed to be the one that's good with people, Yama. We've been dating since second year. Mouth agape. It felt like the new information was being physically rattled into his brain. Second year? His friends had been dating a whole year and he just never noticed. They acted the same. Tadashi had never seen them so much as hold hands. Did Kei know? Was Kei moving on from Kags because, come on, we should get back to the court. Dragging his day's captain by the wrist, the two were back on the court before Yama had realized Shoi had gotten him to stand. Did you know Tobio and Shoya were dating? Tsukishima and Yamaguchi sat on a low, half-wall, eating their lunches away from the crowds of the cafeteria. It had been silent before, but the question had been gnawing at him all morning. Though unsurprising, he still almost couldn't believe what Hinata said to him. They've been dating since second year, Yamaguchi. Do not tell me you only recently found this out. They don't do couple stuff. I never assumed. What? They don't kiss or hold hands. They hold hands all the time? They were holding hands this morning walking into the gym. They always do. What? I cannot believe you. They're more subtle second year and you're occupied with future captain stuff, but you must have caught on some time recently. Yamaguchi couldn't believe himself. What was he doing this morning, and every morning, where his friends completely went in over his head? Still can't believe they thought we were. That one seemed to make Tsukishima choke, an impressive feat considering how slow he chewed and how small his portions were. Tadashi turned his head to watch his friend quickly hit his own chest, regaining composure, but not without a dust of pink to his usually pale face. They what? Hinata. He said everyone thought we're dating, everyone being the team even back in first year. Apparently we've been together since middle school. That's stupid. Yeah. Stupid. Like the stupid flick of hope Yamaguchi had whenever Suki scowled at someone else for using his nickname, or offered him extra treats at the mall before even being asked. Like the little part of him that would scream hypocrite in his head when the two made fun of couples or romance movies. Like the next, horribly regretted words Yamaguchi himself couldn't believe he had the gall to utter out loud. So is that why you're trying to get over Tobio? The look cast Yamaguchi's way was chilling, immediate regret-filled apologies spilling from the shorter boy's lips. Sorry Suki, I was just. He awaited the shut up, but it never came. All the response given was Suki closing the bento in his lap. Similarly, Yamaguchi's appetite was gone, but not one to waste food. He continued to shovel what was left into his mouth. It was awkward now, horribly so. Wonderful. There you two are. Yukai says practice is being cut short today. It's his mother's birthday. Secretly grateful for the distraction, Tadashi and Kei both turned to their friends. For the first time, Yamaguchi noticed their linked pinky fingers. He envied them. You guys want to grab that dinner today instead? Suki. Sure. Cool. Guess that's settled then. You can leave your bike at my house. Thanks, Yama. Releasing his hand from his apparent boyfriend's, Shoyu ran towards Yamaguchi and nearly sent him flying backwards off the wall he'd been supporting himself with. Sweet hug, Hinata giggling in his arms. Cautiously, he caught Tabayo's gaze and saw him just half smiling back. The tension lessened. A large grin spread across his face as the hand, not holding his lunch tentatively, returned the hug. No problem, Shoyo.